Motivation letter is one of the most important documents to get fully funded scholarship abroad. It sometimes accounts for 50% of your success. Let's talk about how to draft an excellent motivation letter to get attention of the committee and study abroad totally for free. The things that you don't have to do in motivation letter. First of all, don't use ChatGPT. Don't use AI to draft your motivation letter. Believe me, nowadays, almost all the universities and committees have the access to the platforms and apps that can check whether it is written by ChatGPT or any other AI tools. What you can do, you can use ChatGPT to get ideas, to get synonyms to the words, to get inspiration, but not to copy paste from ChatGPT or any AI tool. The second thing, don't use generalization in your motivation letter. Last year, I was a committee member for Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship, and I had the access to motivation letters of the students who we were going to interview. What I was surprised to see that 5 students from the African continent was writing the same things in their motivation letter. Were planning to finish the scholarship and go to become a Minister of Finance in their country. I understand people can have very ambitious goals, but if you see these terms for 5th time in a motivation letter, you will doubt whether the student even wrote this motivation letter. It's common and easy words to say that you're motivated, you want to create a change in the society, you want to become a Minister of Finance, but how can you prove it? How can you show that you have skills and you have experience and you are competent enough to become such a person that you're mentioning, right? Instead of saying the general terms, you have to tell story, you have to prove it. I will read for you 2 examples which I found online, and you can feel how the first example is different from the second example when the student used general terms, and the second one when the student uses proofs. The first example: I believe that I am motivated and that getting the scholarship will allow me to fulfill my professional and personal goals as well as create an impact in my society. Now feel the second example. I plan to set up a women's community educated center after I graduate to empower women with basic accounting skills to run small and medium-sized businesses. The scholarship and master program will allow me to acquire skills that will help me to create tools and resources for this training. I hope that you can see the differences, how a motivation letter can be drafted. The second thing is about what you should do. First of all, research. Research, read, explore as much as you can about the specific scholarship, because the more information you have, the better you will be able to draft this motivation letter. Because when you read a lot, when you see the examples, when you realize what they want from you, you can come with specific examples that I have mentioned before, and you can try to write what they want you to write. And if you do your research, it will help you to address the specific committee member. For example, if you explore and research enough, you in most cases will know that who is reading, who is responsible for motivation letter or the scholarship in general, and you can address the specific person in your motivation letter. Instead of writing dear committee member, you can write dear, Richard Cole or something, which will show how interested you are in the scholarship, how serious you take the scholarship, that even you find the name of the committee member who will be reading your motivation letter. Go through your motivation letter several times, at least 10 times. To write a good motivation letter takes time. You have to try to read it over and over, to give it to your colleagues, to your friends, to your professors, to give you feedback so you can further improve it. You can't draft a good motivation letter in 2 days. Unfortunately, it takes some time and you have to be patient here. When you read it a lot and enough, you will avoid one of the worst things that can happen with your motivation letter: grammar and spelling mistakes. And it is very, very crucial to be very careful, because in most cases you're applying for master or for PhD, and in, for example, PhD, you have to be very good at academic writing, and now you're applying for the scholarship with this motivation letter, which has, I don't know, 10 grammar mistakes, 2 grammar mistakes, doesn't matter, which will negatively affect your application package in general. How long should motivation letter be? In most cases, you will be said by the scholarship or the university how long should it be, but usually it's from 500 words to 800 words. It's approximately 1 page. So you have to be very, very concrete, very precise, very compact to give the general idea of who you are, what you want, why you want the scholarship, and how you as a candidate can contribute to the development of the university itself. Because you don't only get, right, you have to give something instead. This leads us to another point, what you should write in your motivation letter. Motivation letter consists of 3 parts, introduction, main part, and conclusion. You can use the normal introduction, saying that you are this person and you want to apply for this scholarship. But you can try to storytell to be distinguished among all the students. I will read for you the part of the motivation letter that I used for getting Stipendium Hungaricum scholarships as an introduction, and I hope that this will give you the ideas and inspiration what you can write in your motivation letter. I am Rahimzoda, a citizen of the Republic of Tajikistan with a desperate and tremendous vision to participate in poverty eradication through economic development projects. I recognize that in order to accomplish this vision, I must expose myself to new knowledge and perspectives. Having overcome hardship, I understand full well the power of determination and focus. I am committed to harnessing the power of further education to participate in efforts to improve the economy of Tajikistan through citizen-driven interventions. You can see that it's not normal introduction. It still gives a general idea who I am, right, and what I'm interested in, because my thesis is about poverty. So I'm mentioning here because alongside my motivation letter, I also sent my research proposal. So I am very consistent. Here I am interested in poverty, and here is my research proposal about poverty. So please try to tell a story in introduction just to catch the attention of a committee member. In the main part, mostly you have to tell why you want the scholarship and why you deserve the scholarship and what you can give to the scholarship and to the university as a student who will be the part of this community. Talking about why you want the scholarship, you have to try to be very precise and connect the dots. What does it mean? You have to connect your previous experience, the future goals of yours, and the scholarships that you are going to apply. For example, if you have been studying economics or international relations and you want to work for an NGO in your own country or any other countries, you have to try to tell that I have a bachelor degree in economics. I have been working 2 years in an NGO in my country, and I realized that I have a knowledge gap in these majors. So this master program will help me to get this necessary knowledge that I can use to become a better employer or specialist or professional in specific company. Also, here you can explain why you want this specific major, right, and specific university. Again, if you did your homework and read enough about the scholarship and their requirements, then you will understand what you can write here. For example, in this channel, I have an interview with one of my friends who got a Chimning scholarship to study in the United Kingdom, and she said that in one of her essays why she wants to study specifically in that city of the United Kingdom, she likes the specific flower that is only seen in that part of the country, and it would be great to go and explore and see this. So you have to do your research to understand what specific things that other people will not pay attention to, you found, paid attention, and wrote in your motivation letter. And you get the scholarship. What can you give instead? Here, how can you contribute to the scholarship? You can write about your experience, achievement, skills that you can bring to this academic community, to this university, and to the scholarship. If you are able to tell it through a story, as I have mentioned, like what projects you have implemented, what kind of people you have met, what languages you learned, it will be more interesting to read your motivation letter and to know the history of your life, I would say. The last part about conclusion. Here you can mention your future goals. Again, it will depend on you. Don't put super ambitious goals here in the last part of your motivation letter. Don't use general terms, as I have said before, not to become president or a minister or something like that. Try to be specific and think that, okay, what will happen after you finish this program, right? Try to be more, I would say, realistic. And it can be that, okay, you can mention short-term goals and in long-term goals. Of course, you can tell about your plans that you are going to open your own business or your company or NGOs or whatever. But in short-term goals, be more realistic, because I wouldn't believe to someone who just finished his bachelor or master to be a Minister of Finance in 5 years. You know what I mean, right? So good luck with that, and see you in my next videos.